Welcome to the first installment of the brand new Money Makes It Weird podcast, brought to you by Fox Financial. My name is Matt Haze, and this gentleman right here,
Chris Fox.
This is Chris Fox from Fox Financial. Chris, how are you, sir?
Fantastic. How are you, Matt?
I'm doing very well. Welcome to your own podcast.
How did we get here?
Let's explain a little bit of all what is going on, because I know we have a few of the Chris. I was about to say the Chris Foxifies. Is that what we're calling your fans?
I don't know.
The people, your fan base, the
I'll have
Chris,
to come up with a good name.
the Foxes, the people, your clients that we have to come up with a name for them or something.
I think we throw that out to the internet and the world, and they will come up with the best name ever.
Oh, I don't know. Have you seen what the internet comes up with? I don't know if we would call it the best name ever. Don't ever trust the internet with anything. You ask the internet to come up with things, and they come back with things, and you just go, okay, maybe this was a bad idea. That's usually not a good idea.
Like when they were naming the trains overseas.
Exactly. You know, it's just not always necessarily a good idea. So my name is Matt Haze. I am a media personality from the States who has worked across the U.S. and throughout Canada, doing some comedy stuff in media and radio and TV, and partnered up with Chris for his podcast for Fox Financial. So Money Makes It Weird. This is going to be not like any other financial money podcast anywhere in Canada, like nothing any other financial advisors are doing. We are going to dig into the weeds, into the drama, into the mess that is money, into the messiness that comes with money, into the drama that comes with money. Because, Chris, when it comes to dollars and cents, yes, it is about the numbers. It is about rate of return. It is about, the details and making sure everything is set up and all nicely and all. But when it's all said and done, when people are sitting down with you in your office, it is about the human side of it. It is about the messiness of it.
Absolutely.
And when we go online and read the stories on Reddit, and when you're talking with people and all, it's there's a book of 150 forms and signatures and, compliance and all of that and all. Yeah. But really, when it's all said and done, it's still about, the humans and the story and the drama. It doesn't matter what's on the piece of paper. It's about the messiness. And we're going to dig into that and talk about all of that on this podcast.
You betcha. The money's kind of the background, right? Like it affects everything and everyone in their own way and their own situation. And the stories that come out of it are great. Yeah. Right. It's kind of the human experience, of it's underlying everything. And so, I don't think we'll talk much about the markets. I mean, there's tons of people talking about that. Can you just Google it, go to, the front page of whatever paper publication that you look at, and you'll find out what you need to know. Right. So I don't want to duplicate that. I want to share experiences and stories.
Yeah. And also, stuff. I mean, when you think about it, when people are talking about, what's going on with the economy, it's all about how it directly affects people. Yes, we talk about inflation, the actual number. And for those of us like you and me and business people, we get nerdy and talk about the actual number. But, how it actually affects people is how much extra did it cost me in my grocery bill last month?
Exactly.
How much did it affect me when I go to the store? I have this nerdy thing that I have that we dealt with actually a couple weeks ago when I was in Montana traveling. I call it the Ben and Jerry's index. Wherever I go in the world, I like to compare the cost of living and the cost of expenses, especially when it's coming to travel, to how much a pint of Ben and Jerry's is wherever I'm at, because you can kind of get an idea how much things cost. Because I know, roughly where I'm at in Chicago is going to be about $5.65. If I go further out in the boondocks in the suburbs, it's going to be under that. It's going to be like $4.50 something cents US. Where I used to live in Puerto Rico, it was $9.75 US. In tourist parts, it's going to be more. The lowest I have ever seen was in the UK on sale in 2018. It was £1.75 for some reason. And you gosh darn bet I bought that, because you will never find it ever cheaper than that. But when it's all said and done, it's about like the realistic side of that. It is about the drama when it is all said and done, and
Yeah.
how people handle that side of it. Yes, it is about the numbers, but it is the messiness that comes with that, and we're going to talk a
Hmm.
lot about that. So,
Yeah.
what is that like, sitting down with clients and hearing that? In a way, is it feel more like on some days you're more like a shrink than you are a money guy?
Absolutely. I'm the sounding board.
Yeah.
Is this normal? Are people having the same experiences? They want to feel that they're having the same experiences, I think, that other people are, right? Like,
Yeah.
and they I'll talk about inflation to the financial plan, and we're using whatever number, and they'll be like, but that's not the number, right?
Hmm.
Like, my groceries went up 50%, or travel went up, X%, and they're cutting back, or they're making changes, right? And
Yeah.
that's very relevant to the day-to-day thing, right?
Yeah.
As you know, and fortunately, most of my clients, are not worried about filling up their gas tank, and they can do that, but they're noticing, right? And
Yeah.
so they are making adjustments, right? Just
Mhm.
as we all do,
Yeah.
right? No matter how
I
much money they have,
Yeah, I can
right?
imagine. Yeah, have you ever had what percentage of meetings would you say have there been tears? Uh,
Oh, tears. It's a small percentage overall, 0.5%, like,
oh, I
not
thought it
a
would be
lot.
more.
No, and especially, and that's and that is kind of has nothing to do with money. The
Hmm.
tears are about, we're talking about whatever situation because of, in the sense of, oh, I got an inheritance, or
Hmm.
um my brother died,
Yeah.
right? At an early age. And, when I'm learning about people, or they're telling me their story, there's tears. Yeah. So maybe it's a little higher. But it's amazing the connection that gets formed, right? Because they're
Yeah.
telling me their you know, deepest and darkest. And and the money is always
Yeah.
secondary, right?
Yeah.
It's not, oh, I lost X amount in the market, I'm crying.
Hmm.
That's so irrelevant to whatever their situation is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about what people have been kind of talking about when it comes to that side of it over the last couple weeks, couple of months, and I think the T word seems to have been thrown around a lot. The
Am I allowed to
tariff.
say the big orange Cheeto?
Yeah,
Are we
that
going to
that's
go
how we
there?
are. That is how we're going to be calling him on this
Okay.
podcast. By the way, the big
Perfect.
orange Cheeto.
Yes.
You can
Yes.
take that how you like
Yep.
and how you wish. But that's
Just
how
setting
we'll
the
be.
line right there. That's what I think.
That's all that needs to be said at this point.
Fair.
The big orange Cheeto.
Yep.
And the T word, which as I was typing this out earlier, I kept thinking of the Brady Bunch, which I'm too young to understand that reference. Instead of Marsha, 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 I was thinking tariffs, tariffs, tariffs. I don't know why that was in my head. Um, which now, as someone who is on the other side of the border,
Hmm.
first off, I apologize.
Hey,
I
you don't need to.
apologize.
We have nothing against Matt and his compatriots. We love you. We love our cousins. We just may not like your leadership right now.
I understand that. But with that T word and the
Hmm.
ongoing will he, won't they,
Yeah.
what the you know what,
Yeah.
and the uh, speaking of that element of the pocketbook and pocketbook. Do people still say pocketbook?
I don't think so.
That's very
It's a little bit,
1950s esque
little
of
old
me.
timey.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a wee bit. This is a wee bit old. I feel like my grandmother, all of us, grandmother and grandfather, all of a sudden. Let me get a 20 out of the pocketbook to give you,
Yeah.
young Matthew.
But cash. Who
Um,
has cash?
I'm sorry.
Who has cash?
That's true. Yeah, cash. What is that? That doesn't. That
That's a
what that
future episode.
as that T word has been and this constant. Who knows where it is today? And as we're
Yep.
recording on this day when we are just at trying to figure out how do we budget? How do we How do we, you know,
Yeah.
how do we plan for that? What has that been like? What have those conversations with your clients, with family and friends been like about, you know, Yeah, because when it's all said and done, it's pennies, but all that stuff does add up.
Yeah.
And there is that the emotional side of it, but also the dollars and cents because when you go to the store, you do notice those little things, those little
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say for the most part, the biggest reaction, I would say from most of my clients, 90%
Mhm.
would be travel, right?
Yeah.
And deciding not to go to the States,
Mhm.
myself included, right? And we would do a bike trip down there to Bend, Oregon. Shout out. I love that place. One of
Mhm.
my favorites. But we decided we're not going um, for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
And that unfortunately affects your side of the border. And so that's a big one, kind of in a retaliation point of view. From a day to day, it's, those micro adjustments, seeing the higher grocery bills and people changing the way they behave. And maybe they're not going to the pub as much and they're going to someone's backyard, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of biking, we would, maybe not go to the pub after a long bike ride, but we'll go have a beer in someone's backyard, right?
Mhm.
So that those adjustments and, um, yeah, overall the travel, the savings haven't changed so much. It's where they're spending, I would say,
Gotcha.
making more educated decisions,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, and how they're
It
spending their money and where.
yeah.
Even in Costco, it's like, you're going through the veg or not where the fruits are in the fridge and you're walking by and I'm like, sorry, no, no, yeah, I'll take that one. It's from Mexico,
Yeah.
right? And those are decisions we're making. I don't think we felt the impact of those T's tariffs,
Yeah.
right? It's coming. For
Yeah.
sure it's coming. Even with the unemployment numbers being revised in the States and the impact it's having to farmers that we're starting to see in the news, it's going to be painful, I
Yeah.
think, right? I'm not sure what's going to carry that through. If I'm sorry to talk economics, but if there's a cut by the Fed, that will keep things going for a while, but for how long?
Yeah.
And if your inflation still stays high, will Powell cut?
And
Right.
will Powell even still be in office at that point
Well,
anyway?
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
who
yeah.
knows
That's
that whole mess with that point.
yeah.
Um, it is interesting to see how those little things, how the little dollar or two here really does affect things. How people notice that. I've even have
Hmm.
noticed when I will go to like make a food order and I will go, oh, I've noticed that what I have ordered before in the past
Yeah.
definitely seems a little bit more. And I'll go
Yeah.
in my email, do a search from the order I got 6 months ago
Yeah.
just to confirm. And I will see, a 35% increase. And it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy to think. And in my head, I'm
Yeah.
going, okay, for future reference, do I continue to order from this or do I get something different or do
Mhm.
I look elsewhere? Because it does. And it's sad that it feels like nearly every week something else comes up like this. And
Yeah.
that takes energy, that takes time to have to go through and decide. And,
Yeah.
I'm in a position where I don't have to worry so much about that, but it, every penny does matter and it does,
Yeah.
affect things.
Yeah. Yeah. It's this instability that's being caused, right?
Yeah.
That not knowing, like you said, you're going to tap and, the groceries, you're like, oh, what's it going to add up to right now? Right?
Yeah.
My 5 things that I bought for sure, day to day. And then I think that stretches out all the way to, clients like, oh, I got to buy a new truck and it's way more expensive than
Yeah.
5 years ago, right? For a
Yeah.
basic F-150 or whatever they're looking at, right? And it's
Yeah.
like, they're looking at buying used,
Yeah.
right? Or holding off, and that affects everything, right? So,
Yeah.
here in Canada, we're talking about our new prime minister, talking lots about about to spend on huge infrastructure deals.
Yeah.
Well, what goes into that? Number one, steel, right? Where's that coming from, and what's that going to cost?
Yeah.
And what numbers are they using? Are they using like current values? Are they projecting future costs or what they think it's going to, oof. I would not want to be in the finance office right now,
No. Yeah, there's a lot of
working on the budget.
uncertainty. Yeah, no. I mean, even when you think about, any sort of public project, even from like a year or two ago, that's already started, that said it costs,
Hmm.
you know, X amount of billions of dollars.
Yeah,
Okay, that was, you know, before we knew where anything was
yeah,
going. Now,
at
are
thirty
we?
percent,
Yeah,
right?
we always know that it's never going to hit on budget. It
Sure.
always works that way, but God knows where it's going to be, at this point going forward. So,
Hmm.
absolutely crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
and that shall
so,
just affect generations to come,
oh
right?
yeah, absolutely. We're
Yeah,
just going to be putting it on towards to the future kids, but that's
yeah,
okay because everyone else, that's okay. We'll all be dead. All the kids can take care of it, which is so sad to think that there are people that genuinely think that way.
yeah,
That
yeah. I don't have to worry about that.
I don't have to worry about it. The kids can figure it out. They're smart enough and all. That's fine. So I'll have a new
Are
road
they
to
talking
drive
about
my
the
car down.
teenagers because they've got it all figured out?
They have it all figured out. So
A-
they're smart. They
Ask
got it all
my
figured out.
teenager. She knows everything.
Exactly.
She's the best.
That's right. Want to start wrapping up with a couple quick final questions for you, though,
Yes.
as we are now entering into fall here. Number one, real quick, as it is the fourth quarter here, we're now entering into fall already, which is
Mm-hmm.
absolutely crazy. Things we need to be thinking about. One or two things we might need to be thinking about when it comes to our retirement or our plans.
Yeah.
One or two things we need to be thinking about, whether it's last minute contributions or
Yeah.
things we need to be doing to make sure that we're all set for 2025 or even to set ourselves up for
For next
2026.
year.
What do we need to have on the plate and make sure we have done here by the time
Yeah.
New Year's Eve rolls around?
Of course, we're in Canada, so RRSP contributions, we want to make sure those are taken care of.
Hmm.
We have, of course, the first couple of months, first 60 days to make those contributions, but I like to get people to do that beforehand.
Hmm.
Also, tax-free savings account top-ups. This year, you can do 7,000. Lifetime limit if you were 18 in 2009 is 102,000. So lots of room there.
Hmm.
Um, so a bit of tax planning. From my retired clients, we'd be talking about, expected incomes for the year. If they're drawing from their RIF accounts, can we, look at the tax and how much they're drawing and see if we need to pull out a little bit more to make sure there's not too much at the estate level. So lots of kind of year-end stuff there, mostly around tax planning. And also depending on where the market is, whether money's coming in or out. If we need to plan on the cash side of things, just to make sure we're not getting abused by the market if the timing is wrong. So we'd like to build cash wedges, either in or out, depending on what's happening. So
Gotcha.
those are my big conversations right now. Yeah.
Gotcha. And one final question too. As we are entering into fall and things are starting to get colder, things that we need to be doing as we're getting outdoors and enjoying the not as warm season of
Yeah.
this time where it's not as unbelievable before we get to the unbelievably bitter cold part of this time. But what will you be doing and enjoying outdoors over the next couple of weeks, couple of months here?
The gutters.
I said enjoy. I mean, if you enjoy that, then
No, I mean,
God
these are
bless you. But
things that have to be done. I got to get new socks for the winter.
I already got those, so
Yeah.
I'm ahead of you on that. I got that.
Dig out the toques, make sure they're clean.
Mhm.
No, I like to stay outdoors. I actually just this morning I booked spring skiing in Jasper at Marmot Basin. A couple of weeks there with friends, not weeks, but weekends. Just to make sure that that's something to look forward to. Still riding the mountain bike all year, get into the fat bike in the winter time. Couple of long rides before the snow falls on the road bike or gravel bike. And
Busy time, and we'll be
yeah,
doing some podcast episodes in between. So,
be so good.
if people want to talk about their own personal finance situation, how can they touch base with you? How can they reach out to you?
Easiest way is foxfinancial.ca. And there's a contact me right on the homepage there.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
Next episode of Money Makes It Weird will drop in 2 weeks. You can subscribe on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you have any questions you want to reach out to us, you go to foxfinancial.ca and you can type in the contact box there and reach out to us that way as well.
Awesome.
Chris, thanks for having me come on board with this. This is going to be fun. And next week, Next week, we get into the drama.
Drama for your mama.
The drama. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, man.
Trademarks owned by Investment Planning Council Incorporated and licensed to its subsidiary corporations. Investment Planning Council is a fully integrated wealth management company. Mutual funds available through IPC Investment Corporation and IPC Securities Corporation. Securities available through IPC Securities Corporation, a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund. Insurance products available through Chris Fox.